A very good Monday morning to you, and I hope you have a fabulous week. It's a bit earlier than normal here because I've got my friends staying from America and they're still sleeping upstairs, and I wanted to do something with them today, but it's going to be quite tricky with my leg because I've got to keep it elevated, and when I keep it down, it actually does start to hurt a bit, so I've got to be very careful. And they're both medical people, so they're going to keep a really good eye on me, so hopefully I will be okay. Everyone's been so kind with my leg around here. I'm so lucky with the community that I live in, and I do think that what you put in, you can get back. And I have really put in a lot since I've been here because it's the only way that I can really make any new friends and get involved. So I live opposite a church, so I've been sort of throwing myself into helping them with, baking and kids and arts and crafts and all sorts of things. And I'm going to be helping lead the bereavement journey, which starts again in January. So I'm looking forward to that. So one of the clergy came over. She's lovely. She's kind of like one of these people that was really wild in her youth, and then sort of saw the light of God and has the most incredibly inspirational, wonderful life now. I mean, obviously things aren't always easy, but she's also married. They're both curates and married this lovely guy. He's American, and they're just so sweet, and they have a young family, and she's so lovely. And she popped over to see how I was the other morning, and I was talking to her about healing, and we talked about she actually brought it up, the Japanese art of kintsugi, where many of you will know this because we've talked about it before, but if you have a broken object, in Japan, often with this kind of philosophy, they fix it using gold leaf or gold, sometimes platinum, silver, some kind of precious metal, because they believe that the repair is really important to the object, and the repair is what enables that object to go forward and become perhaps more precious because it has the precious metal on it. And that can also very much be a part of what it is to live and to grow in life. You get broken, you can repair. You can repair yourself. You can go into a group and get repair. You can see a psychotherapist and have repair. You can throw yourself into exercise, or you can go and join the Buddhists or the whatever it is you want to do. Go and walk the Camino, go travelling, and repair yourself. And I think that repairing yourself is quite hard work, especially depending on how many flaws or breaks or cracks or splits or rifts or explosions or bombs that have gone off inside you. And the damage isn't always visible, so the damage is often very internalised and held inside. And when I was talking yesterday and I was reading from True Love, and it was saying basically that you have to look very deeply into somebody who's been hurt in order to acknowledge the suffering and to basically just bring out the kind of the healing, I suppose, and the understanding in each other. And deep looking is really about deep love and acceptance of that person. So I was thinking when my friend was talking to me the other day when she visited about the kintsugi thing, I started talking to her about that, and I said, it's really strange you should mention that because I broke my favourite butterfly mug a few weeks ago, and I've still got it in the cupboard, and it's not an expensive mug, but it's really symbolic and it means an awful lot to me in my life at a certain time of my life. And I showed it to her, and she said, one of the churches, wherever it is, down in one of the villages quite locally, they do a kintsugi course. And the course is basically philosophy, but it's also repairing an object, a favourite object, but also repairing yourself at the same time. And she said to me, it would be really amazing if you could run a kintsugi workshop at the church across the street from me, because they have an amazing sort of facility where that can be done and lots of space. And run it as a kind of inspirational workshop where people can come over a course of, 4 or 6 weeks and repair an object, but also in the course of doing that, repair their own sort of mental health and well-being and help to get them back on the road to recovery, to whatever it is that their trauma or whatever it is that they've been going through. We have taken a lot of refugees into the village here. A lot of people have them living in homestays, and especially from Ukraine. And they're obviously trying to develop their language skills and their ability to fit into culture and society here. A lot of them are very highly educated, but there is obviously that sort of that damage and that hurt and that pain and sorrow for their home country and their homeland, and all the people that they love, that they're worried about, and who are fighting and who are defending their country. And she asked me, would you be interested in running something like that? If you go on the actual, first of all, do the course and get some training at the Kinsuki, with the Kinsuki crowd over at the other church, and would you like to run something in the community centre? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, I would. I think it would fit into my sort of, the whole of my kaleidoscope of skills really, really well. And I'd love to do that. And also, primarily, I'd love to learn about the philosophy, and I'd love to learn how to do it myself. And perhaps that gives me the opportunity to mend my butterfly mug, which is so symbolic of the change in my life and of ravenous butterflies and of me sort of coming out of my cocoon. And I completely get it. And I completely understand the value of seemingly insignificant things, because it's the insignificant things, or the things which maybe mean nothing to anybody else, which are so important to us, like the blankie when you're little, or your favourite little cuddly toy, which you sort of, cuddle to death, and it's all been sort of chewed and, worn out and everything, but it's still beautiful to you because it smells of childhood and it's your favourite thing. And I just think I'd love to do that. So that's what I think I'm going to look into doing. And I know I keep saying I think, but I know I'm going to look into doing. And it's something that I want to pass on, and a skill I'd like to pass on to others. And also to try to help some people heal who have come from very, very sort of dire circumstances and have had horrendous upsets in their life. And I think it would be I know it would be an amazing thing to do. So in my journey of healing, and my journey of growth, and my sort of spiritual journey, my life journey, my cultural journey, my female journey, my human journey, I think it would be a really, really fabulous thing to do, and a wonderful thing to give back to the community. And a great way of meeting people and finding out about other cultures and other people's lives, which I think is always part of sort of human and personal growth. So Kintsugi, I'm going to start reading about it. If anybody's got any good books that they'd recommend, that are sort of really, really easy to follow and not too complex in Japanese culture, but really, really easy to follow and good to follow, then I would love to know. So please let me know in the comments. And yeah, do you think it's a good idea? I think it's a fabulous idea. And I'd love to have a go, and I'd love to help others as well. So watch this space, watch this part of my journey. How many other things am I going to say yes to? Actually, I would have said no to it had I not been interested in it, and had I not written a piece about it, and had that not happened to my mug. So it's very fortuitous and serendipitous that she came along and told me about it, because I would have had absolutely no idea. If it was something like, will you bake 600 cookies for the community sale, I would have said no. But I would do that. Absolutely, yes. So anyway, lots of love. Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.